Hello. So today we are going to talk about the art of listening. So I'm guessing at some point in your life you have come across someone who hasn't been that great of a listener or always wanted to tell you what to do, tell you what to think, tell you what to say, tell you how it should be, tell you how it shouldn't be. And you may have found yourself in that position being the giver of all as well. But I'm here to lend you a different perspective on listening and not listening. So we've kind of been brought up in a society where people have answers and people have solutions and people have opinions, and we have a lot of this. But the beauty lies in this and this. So what I've found early on in my marriage was that women and men are very, very different. We're different in how we think. We're different in how we, how we feel or how we react. And it was a bit of a learning curve for a really long time because, well, my husband didn't really tell me anything or bring up much about anything, and I brought up a lot of stuff, but then he always tried to fix me or give me the solution or give me the answer. And I always felt really insecure because he wouldn't really open up to me about anything, and I thought, well, don't you trust me? Don't you love me? Don't you want to talk to me about stuff? And he basically was like, no, not really. So there's been like huge light bulb moments for me and awareness throughout my lifetime on the importance of shutting your mouth, opening your ears, and listening. And I mean, think of anyone in your life. Think of kids, think of adults, think of elderly, think of your boss or a coworker, and think of how many issues and problems and fights and disagreements have happened simply because someone wasn't listening. Doesn't listening seem like it would be the easiest thing in the world to do? Like, so easy. I can't even wrap my head around it as I'm talking about it to you, because listening is easier than thinking. It's easier than talking. It is the easiest task you could probably ever be given in your lifetime. But how many of us suck at listening? We don't listen to ourselves. We don't listen to the voice of reason. We don't listen to instruction. We don't da 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 da. So I'm here today to share with you the importance of listening, and just to give you a moment to like ponder how much like easier and how much more effective things would be if we just chose to listen. So imagine if you have children, or when you were a kid, because even if we don't have kids, at some point in all of our lives, we were a kid. Imagine being a kid, or imagine a time when your child has got really frustrated because someone was not listening. And think of how, when you were a child, how you reacted, or how your kids react when you don't listen, or when you were a kid and somebody else didn't listen. You got mad, you got hurt, you got sad, you got, any list of feelings and emotions as a result of not listening. Well, what happens? years and years go by, same people, different people, still not listening, and we form habits and reactions to how we respond when someone doesn't listen. Then if we have kids or coworkers, or like if our ability to listen is out of balance, people around us have a way of like magnifying our imbalances and basically trying to subconsciously help us figure out how to listen better. So, sometimes other people react to us, sometimes we react to others, but it tends to become a habit and a pattern and this repetitious cycle of, you're not listening to me, so this is how I'm going to react. You're just trying to tell me what to do, so this is how I'm going to react. I'm not listening to someone else, and now they're reacting to me. Like, wow! Before you know it, there's this like huge like explosion of frustration and irritation simply because we suck at listening. So, what does it take to listen? Well, sometimes you have to open the door or ask a question for someone to start expressing something to you or saying something to you. And then it requires you to close your mouth and open your ears and listen to what they have to say. Now, what I've learned is most women don't want a solution, and probably a lot of guys too, but I've heard this generalization a lot. Women want to be heard, but we do not want to be given the answer or the solution. We just want someone to listen to us and basically be like a sounding board so I can project something to you and then have it come back so that I can hear it and process it and find the solution myself. So for men, I'm not a man, I cannot speak on your behalf, but I'm guessing that a lot of men also would prefer not to be told, not to be, forced in one direction or another. And, from my personal experiences, it would actually be really beneficial if a man could feel comfortable and secure enough to open up about something without being judged, criticized, or felt like he was being ridiculous. So women, maybe the reason why your men are not opening up to you or why they're staying closed off is because you're not listening anyway. Because I didn't really listen. I wanted to know what was going on, but yet I always had a comeback, or I had a dig, or I had a nitpicky thing to say when my husband did open up. So it's this vicious cycle of not listening, not opening up, then being told or telling what to do. So if I can offer you anything from this moment today, is people like to find their own answers and their own solutions, but they need an open ear and a closed mouth to be able to figure it out and to be able to find it. And the interesting thing is that listening is one of the key foundational parts of the Dig and Dash life hacking system that I've developed. So it has this very interesting way of helping people find the answers and find the solutions and solve the problems simply through opening the conversation and opening doors and then listening. So it's pretty cool. It's lots of fun, and I would like to offer you a suggestion. Is actually, we're going to do a little mini meditation, because I'd like to help you open a couple doors in this area. So go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. Close your eyes Now, imagine that you are with anybody. Doesn't matter who it is. You're with anyone. And imagine that they have something they want to figure out. Imagine that you are willing to close your mouth but open your ears. So see it, feel it, imagine it. Is this person able to speak to you? Does this person feel safe and secure and, not judged? Just imagine this person is opening up, telling you something, sharing something with you, and you actually are willing to listen. Do they need you to solve the problem? Probably not. Do they need you to tell them what to do? Probably not. Now imagine that you are that person that's speaking, and imagine that the person listening is now listening to you. How awesome does it feel to have someone listening to you? Imagine saying things that you've never been able to say to this person and never been able to share because either you've had your head bitten off before, or you felt judged or criticized, or that person was always just trying to tell you what to do or give you the answer. Imagine in this moment that person is paying attention to you with their eyes and with their attention, and they're just listening with no response. Okay, how much more would you be able to say? So take a couple more deep breaths, and I just want to share with you that the ability for others to listen to you will begin with your ability to listen to others. So if you would like something to change, start with yourself. That's the best way to guarantee that something's going to happen. Something will change, something will shift, is if you start with yourself. All right, so that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I am excited to connect with you again soon.